Hey folks, well, I've got another Mega Garage to show you guys. How many has Hot Wheels made at this point? I have kind of lost count, honestly. And I'm not complaining, by the way. There's just been so many of them that, well, it seems like they've been releasing just about one every year since the very first Ultimate Garage was released way back. I don't remember exactly what year that even was now at this point. It's been a long time. So, but this is new for 2025, and this one is called the Mega Loop Garage, and I'm sure you can guess why that is. It's got two loops, and then the rest of it is it looks like a three-story garage. So, I am excited to see what this thing is all about. I haven't opened up every single Hot Wheels like Ultimate or Mega Garage, but I've seen most of them at least. So this will be another one, and I don't think I've seen really a bad one yet. You know, some are better than others, but I haven't seen a bad one, and I just love garages in general. So this is really exciting. So what else is there to say? Well, we've got it's 2 feet plus in height, so it's a tall set. This is not the biggest of the Mega Garages or Ultimate Garages at all. I picked this up for about $60 plus tax and everything. I've seen it cheaper at other places, but that's what I paid. Let's see, here's just a quick look at the top, and then I'll show you the sides of the box real quick. It's got a new, well, we can just kind of take a closer look at this. They've got a new Speed Snap track system. I don't have any of those track pieces yet, but you can kind of see what they are. I guess they just kind of snap together really quickly, and that's kind of the thing that they're doing. So that's kind of interesting. On the bottom here, we've got copyright of 2025 and all this kind of stuff. I do have a price tag right there. Hub Hobby in Richfield, Minnesota. That is where I picked this up for $60. Now, I said that I've seen it cheaper elsewhere. I have not. I decided to pick it up at that hobby store because I have not seen this in any of the main stores just yet. I'm sure it's coming, but I haven't seen it yet, like, you know, the Walmarts and Targets and all that stuff. I just haven't seen it yet, so I'm like, for $60, I'm going to buy it. I did end up seeing it for $50 at a place called Rennie's out in Maine while I was visiting there, but, well, I couldn't bring it home on the plane, so I paid $60 for this one. Yeah, I got to show you the back of the box, too, so we'll have to do a little zoom here, or a scan, if you will, just so that I can kind of show you what we've got. So we've got a launcher back here, and it looks like it will, it's kind of cool because it looks like it'll send you through a loop to get to the second level. Then I don't know what'll happen if you want to get to the third level. Maybe you loop twice with enough power and it gets you to the third level, but that's kind of clever. Never seen anything like that, so that's really neat. I hope that it works really nicely. It looks like there is also an elevator here. I love having an elevator on garage sets like this. And it's got a little car wash down here. It's got little repair bays up here. There, it looks like there might be a little car lift up there, perhaps, if I'm seeing that correctly. And then it looks like there's probably some good space to park your cars and everything. So all of the things that you would expect in a typical garage. You've got this helicopter here carrying a car, and it looks like there might be a a helipad on top there too. Yeah, so that's basically what we've got. Parks 36 cars. That's plenty. And let's see. Yeah, there's the top of it along the back. So, like I said, I'm excited. This should be a cool set. I don't really foresee this being a failure of a set by any means. So I'm excited to check this out. And why don't we just go ahead and open it up. We've got the push tab here to get inside the box. So we will just kind of slowly open this up. Alright, so inside here, let's see what we've got. So right on top, instruction manual, and it looks like there is a poster. Maybe I'll show you this poster first. Well, this is kind of cool. little poster, and it's got the garage right there in the back. We've got another Ultimate Garage right here too, one from the previous year, I think. And then look at this. We have a little city collection here. It's got pictures of all these different sets, which is pretty neat. So let's take a peek. It looks like they've got some new ones here, and then some older ones too featured. It looks like at least this one right here is new, because you can tell by, why that it's got that new snap track thing going on. The rest of these don't appear to have that. Yeah, and then some other ones. I've seen some of these in stores, but not all of them. I don't think I've seen this garage or this shark car wash type set yet. Yeah, I think I've seen this one. This is this current set, and then this was the previous Ultimate Garage there. Got a little picture of all of them put together. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, and that's what we've got there. I do see with this, this Ultimate Garage here, I'm pretty sure this was released before, but it looks like it's got some of the connections for that snap track, which I don't know. Maybe they're reissuing it with some of those new connections. Not really sure. But instruction manual here, and it looks like it is in full color, as they are these days. And we have not instructions, but sticker sheet. And it looks like these are actually going to be kind of tedious. Look at these, like these orange stickers here and stuff. Not too many of them, but there are several stickers that will need to be applied anyways. So we've got that. And it just shows you how to put it together, how to play with it, and etc. It shows a little demonstration of that snap track thing, and it has little connectors for older style track, I guess, too. So I guess this is the new thing that Hot Wheels is doing. I don't know if that's going to be the new permanent thing or whatever, but yeah, you can buy adapters, I guess, for this or whatever. So, all right. But anyways, with that all said, we shall take this out. I'll just kind of slowly take some of the pieces out. And look at that. It actually comes with some adapters. No kidding. That's great. A couple of, maybe, yeah, one. Looks like there's a couple of these in here, so that's awesome. Wasn't really expecting that. Here's the launcher, it looks like. And I guess the first impression of these is these feel like really solid pieces, I gotta say. They just seem like very solid plastic pieces that they're not gonna break easily. So yeah, that's really, really nice. And this packaging is kind of interesting too. It's like a paper instead of like plastic, which I don't have a problem with that at all. So that's kind of neat. This looks like the third floor, maybe. It's got that little repair bay there. And I think that's all the pieces. I just need to get those cars out. And once I do that, well, I got to assemble it, and then we will take a look at it. So here we go. Okay, folks, so before I do anything else, let me just show you the car that's included here real quick. And, well, it's very orange and very clear looking. And I like this kind of car that they included because it's mostly like, the whole outside here is like all plastic, and that's good because it's going to be kind of bumping into things and so forth. The underside is more, metal, so that could get a little paint chippy, but at least the top should stay relatively nice despite being used on a stunt type set. So this is the Forward Force, the copyright of 2019 there, and I just dropped it, but anyways, there's that. And then the helicopter, well, let's spin that pretty smooth, and it just goes like this, so you can basically just grab the car like that. That is actually really smooth, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if it'll work that well with every other car, but at least with this one it works very nicely. Now we have the two track adapters, and basically you got a male side and a female side included here, because those tracks, they have a male side and a female side, so you kind of need both of the ends here. So I don't have any of those track pieces to demonstrate, but we can push these two together to basically demonstrate how they snap together. And it's just like that, and then they come apart. You just kind of pull them apart like that. So it seems like it works pretty good. I'd be a little worried over time if the connection gets a little loose, but at least first impression wise, seems like it works pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to get some of those track pieces and see how that all kind of works, but it seems at least okay for what I can tell. And now, well, I assembled the set, and here it is, fully assembled. So that's pretty awesome. I think I'll maybe just for fun, I'll attach these track adapters here onto the set, just so that they can kind of, go somewhere. This one I'll put right here, I guess. Let's see, is that gonna snap? It's not really snapping very good. There we go. I just had to go underneath there and get it into place. But anyways, let's take a look at this. So assembly for the most part was pretty easy. It was just a little tricky to figure out all these loop pieces. Just, they have a lettering system to figure out which piece is which, so you kind of had to just go through it that way. But it was pretty easy to figure out from the instructions. And then so the way the instructions were laid out is you put most of the stickers on first, except for these two right here. You got to put those on after assembly, which was a little bit unclear because I didn't know when to put these on. It showed where to put all the rest of the stickers on the pieces, on each of these pieces before any assembly, and then I'm like, well, what about these other two? Turns out you do those last after assembly, because you gotta connect these pieces together, and then the sticker goes over that for these level 2 and level 3 stickers. And with that, you can kind of see that this set is meant not to be assembled for play and then disassembled for storage. It's really just meant to be put together one time, and yeah, that's it, which is really great in some ways, because then it's like, well, you shouldn't have to worry about taking it apart ever again. This is just it. But the problem with that, at least for me, is, well, it takes up a lot of physical space. I have a lot of the other mega garages, and they also take up a lot of space. So, well, eventually, unless you have a really, really, really big house or room for all this stuff, and with a lot of shelving or something, it takes up a lot of room. But all that aside, let's take a look at what we have. So, yeah, because there's a lot of features here. So I guess let's start over here. We've got a launcher, and you can go all the way like this, and you can see that it pulled itself back. Push the button. That's how it launches. If you want to do like different speeds, like a lesser speed, you can just kind of go like this and then let it go, I suppose. But for the full speed, all you got to do is just pull it all, or push it all the way to the front, and it kind of locks in place. So that's pretty nice. You can put the car there and send it on its way through the double loop. So first loop should go around here, and then all the way around. So unfortunately, I thought there was going to be a way that you could get the car to come onto the second floor just by going through the first loop, but it appears that's not the case. It has to go all the way around both of them, and you'll always end up on the third floor here. So it's not going to ruin my day, but I do think they could have potentially just put like a little diverter here, and then the car could come straight off to the side or something maybe, and then land on the second floor, but they didn't do that. So that's a slight disappointment, but it's really not, it's not going to ruin my day, like I said. So, but that's how that works. And then it looks like the rest of these features are kind of, well, they're kind of smaller features. You got a little car repair type center here. I kind of wish this would be a pull-up sort of thing, but it just is like that. This moves like that. And down here we've got a couple gas pumps, and there are parking areas throughout, of course. Now down here, on the ground level, you've got all these little roadway intersections and places to drive around, which I really love. That's one of my favorite things about kind of these garage type sets is the bottom floor. They make a lot of little intersections and little places to drive around. I think that's really fun. This is a car wash unlike any I've ever seen. It is the most simple car wash you'll ever see on any sort of die-cast set, I think. Like, it literally is one brush, and it comes down like this and to wash your car. I kind of would prefer to have like a little enclosure, like a real car wash with more brushes. But I gotta give it to them. They made the simplest car wash, and it seems like it works well enough. We're going to try it, of course. And then over here you've got your little brushes for kind of like pretending to dry off the car there. So there's a look at that. Then finally, a working elevator. And this seems like it is one of the better working elevators, perhaps even one of the best elevators I've seen on a Hot Wheels or really any die-cast set. We're going to have to try with the car, of course, before saying for sure, but it stops at each floor, and it's smooth. It doesn't seem super jumpy or anything. So we'll see. But there's that. The one thing I don't like about these snap connectors here, I guess, is that when you're driving up, it's not like a smooth drive up from the ground level. I wish they had some little like dead end pieces so that you could drive up from the level surface and up. I'll show you that right here. It's like you got to lift up the car. You know, it's very minor, of course. I'm just being nitpicky, but yeah. So that's kind of my first impressions of that. With that all said, we got to try this all out and see how it works. I mean, so let's just take a look here. So first we got the car wash. Why not just start on the ground here? Kind of save the best features for last, and I think this double loop is going to be the thing to save, kind of. So car wash. Let's lower this down, drive it through. That does a well enough job. Kind of be cool if it went just a touch lower, but it's not bad. Drive through the brushes here. Very nice, very simple. That works as advertised. And then, yeah, you can just kind of drive around down here. And I'll move over here just to give you another angle of what is back here. You got a lot of these kind of crossroads areas. There's a couple parking places down there, so that's pretty cool. Drive out here. Let's drive onto the elevator right there. We got to give this a try and see how nicely it works with the car on it. Yeah, that's not too bad. The car's a little bit jumpy, so yeah, maybe not the absolute best elevator I've ever seen, but it works. Kind of more effective if you put one of your hands down. I can't do it because I'm holding a camera, but if you put one of your hands down on the set, that should make it smoother. I do like this, though, because it's got some extra parking places on here, and you can just drive the car right in. So that's pretty neat. Whoops. And then we'll put that back there. Let's go to the second floor. And like I said, the unfortunate thing is that the loop does not stop at the second floor. So the only way to get up here is via the elevator. Or, I suppose if you have these track connectors here, which they have a couple here, and then one up here, you could, in theory, make some track come up here. Although the thing is, I just don't know how this works because I've never played with the track. I think they're solid pieces just like this, so I don't know how you're going to be able to go down necessarily if they're going straight out, but, well, I don't have the pieces to actually try that out, so I won't talk too much more about that. But let's see here. We got a couple gas pumps. You can just pull right in, then pretend to get a little bit of gas. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. But get a little gas from there, and we'll drive out. And then more parking places there. And let's back up, and we'll go up to the top level. And here we go to level 3. And we've got 3 little sections here. Back right up into this one. So you can kind of pretend to fix your car like this. back into this one, and this one lifts up and does a little launch like that. And then this one here, they kind of pretend like this is a service bay, but there's no actual feature there. Just got a couple cones and stuff. More parking spaces here. And then really after that, I mean, the last thing to show you is the loop as far as kind of the stunt stuff goes. Let's bring the car back here and we'll bring it down the elevator and drive it over to the launcher because we are going to test out this loop. And I'm excited to see how well this works. I have not tried it yet, so this will be the first time, and we're going to see how well this loop works. So this is exciting. Not sure which angle to really show you this at, so actually I think I'm going to put the camera on a tripod. All right, here we go. Let's do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. There it went. That was pretty much flawless. Let's do that again. Why not? How about that? The only thing I guess I can say is it seems like it almost has too much power. They do have this little thing right here which basically grabs the car. And let me just show you that a little bit more up close. You can see that the car just kind of grabs in here. It's actually got some kind of padding right there. And yeah, it'll grab the car because it's going so fast that if it kept going, well, I don't know, it might just shoot around or whatever. We're going to try holding it so that it will go out and see what happens. But yeah, essentially, got to grab it so that you can just nicely let it out. Then you can kind of drive around up here. I did mention that you can try doing variable speeds. This is going to be really hard for me to do one-handed, but yeah, not quite enough if you do that. Let's try almost full. Well, that didn't work too well, did it? Let's see. One more time. Let's see. Well, I think it's better if you just do full power, I suppose. Let's try one more time. This is just a lot of fun. So there's that. Maybe I'll do another view from the bottom levels here. And one from the bottom. So it's almost kind of hard to see because it's just going so fast. Maybe I'll try to do one in slow motion. Let's do it. Alright, well now we better try it just to see what happens if I just hold this so that it's going to come through at full speed. I don't know if it's going to... I don't know what's going to happen. It's probably going to do something kind of crazy, but let's see. Yeah! That just flew straight out. That was kind of wild. Okay, we got to do that again. And third time's a charm. Yeah, that has way too much speed to do anything productive. If you put track here, it maybe could go straight down it. I'm actually surprised that it, most of the time, is making it around this curve. One more time. This is too fun. Yeah, but that's pretty crazy. So, yeah, it really does need to have this stopper here. There's just no way around it. It has way too much speed. And the stopper works pretty good. You're going to have to be careful what kind of cars you use, honestly, because if you have anything going through this loop that's like a really nice car or something, well, it's probably going to get some wear and tear. So use some cars that you don't care about that much, that are meant for play. All right, let's not forget the helicopter here. So it has its purpose, which is to grab the car and bring the car to the helipad. up on top here where there are 2 spaces here. Then you can just let the car go here and park a couple cars up here, so that's pretty nice. And let's just take another quick good view at the set, because why not? It's a very nice looking set, I gotta say. It's it's a nice looking garage, and I actually like the loop feature because it's not too intrusive to the play of the set itself. You know, you could have some of these odd features be kind of front and center, but this is slightly more in the background, so you can still focus on, you know, all the little features that are in the front here. And I'm also really glad that it's not like a monster theme set. This is a nice stunt and city combination set, which is kind of my personal favorite. Some people might like the monsters and everything that they do on some of these, you know, a lot of these Hot Wheels sets, and even some of the garages like this. That's just not my personal favorite, but they didn't do that with this one, and that I like that. So we need to get some more cars. And there we go, folks. Cars all over the place. I tried to fill up every nook and cranny that I could find that is like a designated parking place, and then I added a few more here and there. I suppose technically I could put one here and here maybe, but those are also kind of driveways, so I'll leave those clear. But, well, you can see how many spaces there are to park cars. There is a lot, and actually, especially down on this level too, kind of sneak in there, and you can just see all the little nooks and crannies that you can fill cars in. Look at that. Just all over the place, so pretty neat. And yeah, I really like that about these garage sets. Nice that they have a lot of places to park the cars, so that is pretty cool. With that said, gotta do a nice last look at this. And my final thoughts on this are, honestly, it's a good set. I have very minimal complaints about it and a lot of positives. The loop works great. Has a lot of power, but that's not terrible. At least it's not like having a problem with sending cars around. There's a lot of speed there. The elevator works very smoothly. I love an elevator that works smoothly, so that's awesome. All the other features work as they should. Kind of minimalistic on some of the other features, but that's okay. I'm glad that there's a car wash. That's nice, and yeah, just everything works. I actually don't think I showed you this little ladder over here. The little parking kind of thing. So, well, there's that. It's got a working ladder. And then I guess the final thing will be to demonstrate this with one different car here, just to, you know, see how it works with another car. The cars I put on here aren't exactly good for sending through because, well, they're all nicely painted and I don't want to damage them, but this one is more plasticky, so I'll try that one. But yeah, final thoughts is it's a good set. I suppose if you're an adult buying this for your kids, maybe try to buy it for $50 or less if you can find a place that sells it for that, because I know I've seen it at least one place for that. I paid $60, but you can get it a little cheaper for regular price. But otherwise, like, even if you pay $60, I don't think you're getting a bad deal on it. Pretty good set, good quality, should last a while as long as the kids don't manhandle it too much. But let's try the loop one more time. Perfect. And that's a good place to end the video. So with that, I'll say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good one.